It just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it? All right, so the No Man's Sky team was threatened with death threats for delaying their game. Actually, it turned out that Kotaku got a little bit of an inside source and reported that the game would actually be delayed or possibly be delayed. And the editor of the article, or one of the people that worked there, I forgot who it was tweeted a death threat, and he actually publicized it. And he showed it up on the website and I believe on their Twitter also. I'm kind of glad that that happened. I think stuff like that needs to be brought to light. And it's sad. It's getting kind of sad that the fact that even something as small as a video game delay are going to cause people to threaten other people's lives. Not for nothing, there's a lot of people we don't like, right? I mean, in this community alone, the circles are small. A lot of people are backstabbers, and a lot of people don't like this person or that person. That's fine. A lot of us, there's so many personalities in this world. Not everybody's going to get along. Not everybody's going to like each other. And it's very apparent in our community. But to sit there and go out and threaten somebody's life, that person probably has a family. That person probably has, kids or mother, father, has somebody who loves that person. And I'm not trying to say that sometimes people don't deserve that. I'm not sitting here trying to say that, oh, nobody deserves to die, because I honestly firmly believe that there are plenty of people in this world that deserve to die. But, in terms of video games, like it's just video games. You know what I mean? Like to sit there and threaten, people over video game stuff. Like even if somebody came out there and called you some type of name or called you something like that, don't threaten their life. You know what I mean? These guys got threatened, their lives threatened, because they delayed a video game. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys, and you guys can take it, with a grain of salt. But these developers, these publishers, these game creators, they don't owe us anything. They don't owe us a goddamn thing. They're making a product, and we're purchasing said product. Now, I understand, because it is video games and it's interactive entertainment. It's a form of entertainment. It's a form where we all lose ourselves in, right? We all love video games. We all lose ourselves in video games. So we take it a little bit more seriously. It's not just like, anything there. It's not just like something. It's important to us. A lot of these games mean a lot to us. And we can see the games that we're going to like, and we can see the games that we're going to be attached to before they even come out at times. Like I already knew I was going to like Quantum Break because of the type of mechanics it had. I knew I was going to like Uncharted 4 because I loved the previous Uncharted's. Yeah, sometimes you get a rude awakening, and the game sucks. But a lot of times we know what we're going to like just based on what we see. And we start to grow a fondness for that product. I'm a prime example. I love a lot of games that I probably shouldn't. And I love a lot of games before I've even played them. So I know a lot of people out there are like that. I know a lot of you guys are like that. So I get it when we take these things personal and we take these things, to heart, and it means more to us than just another product. It's not something we're going to the store. It's not like, you're going to buy milk at the supermarket. These are video games. These are something we lose ourselves in. These are really big things in our lives. I totally get that. I do. And I'll be the first one to tell you, like, I'm pissed off if something goes wrong. A good example is like the Ghostbusters thing. Like, look how many of us are upset about that, Do I feel that the developer deserves, death threats or the creator? No, I don't think he deserves death threats. Should the movie be pulled? Yes. Should it be burned and forgotten forever? Yes. But does the guy deserve to die for that? I don't think so. He doesn't owe us anything, but you fucked up a product. It is what it is. You should expect certain backlash, but you should not expect to be threatened. You should not expect to have your life, you should not have to worry about what's going to happen to your physical well-being or your family because you put out a product. You know what I mean? It shouldn't have to come to that. So the fact that the game was simply delayed and death threats were pouring in to the guy and pouring into Kotaku for reporting it, it sets a precedent that we're never going to grow as a community or as a consumer base. And, a lot of that shit is what am I trying to say here? Gamergate and stuff like that, it gets a bad rep, right? But a lot of stuff like this, with the whole threatening over a game delay is the reason why I guess we need shields, because there are certain people out there that, we don't agree with, but honestly, it makes all gamers look like a certain type of way. This shined a light on all gamers. People who aren't into the YouTube thing or into the video game thing, the first thing they think is, wow, they delayed a game and now they're threatening the guy. That's all they see. So it sets a really bad example, overall. You know, I'm not sitting here saying you guys shouldn't be vocal. I'm not sitting here saying you guys shouldn't criticize products or let these motherfuckers know directly, like, yo, your game fucking sucks. This needs to be fixed, or this game is not working right. Fix it, or you know, or whatever it may be. I mean, look what we got. Look what we did with Microsoft, right? We got Microsoft to turn the whole platform around. Everything. They revamped everything. They re-released the Xbox One, a totally different console from what they announced it as, right? You know, another good example is the only one I can really think of is the Deus Ex pre-order bonus. A lot of people were vocal about it, and they pulled it. You know, they were going to say, if the game gets X amount of pre-orders, you know, it's going to be released 4 days early, and you guys will get this, and you guys will get that, pretty much to promote the pre-order culture. But everybody was vocal about it and was like, yo, we don't want this. And, you know, enough voices came forward, and they were like, all right, you guys don't want it? Fine. And they pulled it. So there is a power that we have. You know, we just can't use it in the wrong way. You know, social media and YouTube and all this stuff, while it is still online and, you know, your online presence isn't really, you know, that world is closing. You know, that circle is getting smaller and smaller, whereas online space is considered public space. And if you threaten somebody in real life, it's as, you know, it's taken as seriously if you threaten somebody online. The only difference is you can hide who you are online, but eventually that stuff's going to change, and that the opportunity to find these people and who's saying these things is going to get smaller and smaller. And I honestly think it's going to get to a point where we are going to be our online selves, and how we act online is going to be treated with real world consequences, you know? So I honestly think people need to chill the fuck out. Like, stop threatening people over video games. It's just fucking video games, man. I mean, I should have said this a long time ago. I think a lot of us should wake up here in our community, right? A lot of us should stop doing shit like this. But you know, now that it's gotten more mainstream, it's gotten more attention, and it's gonna happen again, and it's happened before. But honestly, maybe now is the time we should honestly just be like, all right, you know what, enough is enough. Fuck the death threats, you know, and then we can work our way back from there. You know, we can stop with the death threats, then we can stop with the pedophiles and stop with all that other bullshit that we call each other. You know, it's all right if we argue. It's all right if we go back and forth with one another. It's video games. It's passionate. We're all passionate. I mean, honestly, this community would be fucking boring if we didn't argue with each other, right? I honestly think that's kind of part of it. But, you know, with the real deep harassment, like the death threats and the real, like, insulting name calling. I don't mean calling somebody a bitch ass or something like that. That's whatever. You know, guys play like that. We play like that. Even like calling somebody a faggot or whatever, I think is kind of, you know, some people are going to get offended by it, but honestly, that's how dudes play. That's how dudes play, argue, and shit like that. I think that's fine. You know, I honestly think you have to have some kind of, you know, emotional armor to argue with somebody and be cool with it. That's just how dudes are. You know, dudes just argue like that. Like, fuck you, faggot. Like, it is what it is. And I'm not saying somebody's not offended by that. Is it right? Probably not. But honestly, if it's just two friends, I mean, it is what it is. It's not like you're calling somebody a faggot to insult them. You're just using it as a term to belittle them, but it's your friend, and that's how you guys are talking. You know, I'm getting off track here. But, you know, the death threats thing, that's got to stop. I honestly think that just makes us look a lot worse as a community and as gamers and all that shit. Like, really, just for delaying the game, you threaten a guy's life. Like, he doesn't owe you shit. None of these developers owe us shit. They don't owe us anything. Like, honestly, no matter how much you support any of them, like for me, I'll buy anything with the name Portal on it. Does Valve owe me something? Absolutely not. Even though I would be fucking heartbroken if I felt like they did something to ruin the franchise, or they did something, they just came out and said, you know what, we're going to make a mainstream Portal, and it's going to be a reiteration of it every year, and that's it until it dies, and then we're going to get rid of the franchise. I would be fucking heartbroken. If they treated Portal like Call of Duty, I would be devastated and fucking furious. Am I going to go there and tell Gabe Newell go fuck himself, kill himself and his family? No. Am I going to tell Gabe Newell I'm going to go after him and I'm going to find him and I'm going to fucking burn his fucking studio down? Hopefully him and his family are inside. No. But there are people out there doing that right now, and that's making us look a lot worse. And it needs to chill the fuck out. All right, back to gaming, guys. I just wanted to get that off my chest. This is Demon Ralph signing out.